Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This video is about magnetic circuits with two windings, and in this video I'll assume that you have seen my previous videos or you know the subject, so I'll not go into much details. So here we'll be solving two problems. This is the first of those series. So let's see what does the question say. In the magnetic circuit, the relative permeability of the ferromagnetic material is given 1200. This is the magnetic circuit. You can see there are two coils. Both of them 500 turns. Current entering from the top and the current leaving from the top on the right hand side. And these are the dimensions, and all dimensions are in centimeters, so dimensions are in centimeters. Neglect the magnetic leakage and fringing, so through the air gap we neglect that there is any fringing, that is the magnetic field lines coming out of this. Okay, and then we have to determine the air gap flux, so flux in the air gap here, flux density in the air gap, and the magnetic field intensity in the air gap. So let's see what all are given. So we have the powers N1 I1 500 multiplied by 10, so it is 5080. Similarly, this one is also 500 multiplied by 10, so 5080. The permeability of the core is 1200 given here, multiplied by mu naught, the permeability of the air. So this will become 1200 into 4 pi 10 raised to the power minus 7. Now we have to take mean of the dimensions, because we can't take the inner one or we can't take the outer one. So we draw a line. This is the line representing the mean of the dimensions. And now to mark the flux directions, we have to keep the thumb rule in mind. If you hold your fingers along with the coil, then your thumb represents the flux lines. So like here, the current is coming like this. So if we hold with our finger, the flux line is going up. And same here, this current is coming like here, coming like this, coming like this. So if we hold again the same rule, here also the flux line will be going up. So based on the direction of the flux lines, we have to mark the voltage terminal polarity when we draw the equivalent circuit. So this is the equivalent electrical circuit, and so these are the two sources, plus at the top because flux is going up, and here also plus at the top because this flux is also going up. Then for this portion we mark it as a separate resistance or reluctance. So this is RBAFE. So from here, this we are taking as a separate reluctance. Similarly, for the right hand source, this is the separate reluctance. So BCDE is giving a separate reluctance. Now this reluctance is shared. So it is shared RBE, and then we have the air gap RG. Now in RBE we have to subtract this 0.5. Anyway, so this is the electrical circuit, and now it should be very easy for us to solve this. So let's proceed. Let's first of all calculate all the reluctances, and I hope you know the formula is the dimension or the length divided by mu c and area of cross section. Now the area of cross section here, since the depth is 2, So if you go inside, then this is 2 and the depth is also 2. So that means the area of cross section will be 4, and we convert that into meter. Everything has to be converted into meter. So multiply by 10 raised to the power 4. So this is the area of cross section. And then let's come to the dimension. Now from here you can see this part is 50. Up to this point is 50. We are taking half of 2, so 1. And also we are taking half of 2 from here, so 1. So this becomes 52. Similarly, this is also 52 because this is 50 and 1 and 1. And this is also 52. So the total dimension or the length is 52 plus 52 plus 52 in centimeter. We multiply by 10 raised to the power minus 2 to convert it into meters. And so by calculation, this is the RBFE, this dimension. And similarly, we calculate all. This one is also exactly similar, same dimensions, so same dimensions, same values. So we got these two values. Now BE, this BE, so length BE, and as I told, the length is, this is 52 minus 0.5, so 52 minus 5 into 10 raised to the power minus 2 to make it meter. The bottom line remains same values. So 0.82 10 raised to the power 680 per Weber. Similarly, RG for the air gap 0.5, 0.5, and now here the formula will change. No more mu c because it's air gap, so no core, so it is mu 0. And AG and AC are same, so we'll be using the same dimension because the depth here is also same, so the cross-sectional area is same. And solving this, we find this value for RG. So we have got all the 4 values. And now we write the loop equation, same as KVL equation. So we like this loop, and from here this loop. Okay, so these are the 2 loops. Just imagine that these are currents. So from here, if we go from this corner, that is what I prefer, to go from one corner. So minus sign, minus N1I1, minus N1I1, plus I into R, or phi 1 into RBF, phi 1 into RBF, coming down. Now this is shared by both I1 or I2, or phi 1 or phi 2. So we'll write phi 1 plus phi 2 multiplied by RB, and also RG is also shared by both. So this is our first equation. And by arranging this, we get this term. And similarly, our second loop, we're starting from here, minus N2I2, phi 2 RBCD, and then here it is again shared. And note that these are adding, so we'll write the plus sign here, also plus sign here, because the 2 currents or the 2 fluxes are in the same direction, so we are adding. And simplifying, we get the second equation. Okay, so we had all these values, and now we'll plug into equation number 1. So plugging in, I hope you can plug in all the values here. Solving, this is our equation number 3. Similarly, for the loop 2 equation, we plug in the values and solve. This is equation number 4. Now by solving 3 and 4, we can find the value of phi 1 to be as shown here, and phi 2 this one. So phi 1 and phi 2 we have found out. Now we need to find air gap flux. So air gap flux is the summation of the two, phi 1 plus phi 2. So phi g is phi 1 plus phi 2, and this is 4.14 10 raised to the power minus 4. And now the second part of the question, flux density. So flux divided by the area of the air gap. So this is the flux density, 1.034 Tesla. And the magnetic field intensity is given by Bg over mu naught. So Bg divided by mu naught. So 0.82 10 raised to the power minus 6 ampere turns per meter. So I hope this is clear, and we'll just follow the same technique for question number 2. Let's come to problem number 2. First of all, let's see the circuit and see what is the difference between the previous one. And in the previous one, air gap was in the middle. Now air gap is on the sides, and these are the two coils. And given is the magnetic permeability is 1600. We have to determine in the air gap, we have to determine the flux density, and magnetic field strength. Now here core depth is also different from the previous one. It is now 3 centimeter. Now core depth concept is, if you look at it into 3 dimension, so like this. So just I have shown here as if this one is extended like this. So this is the front face 2, and this is the depth 3. So the area of cross section in case will be 2 multiplied by 3 centimeter. Okay, now let's see what all are given. The forces N1I1, we can calculate N, or the number of turns is 400 multiplied by 10 ampere current, so it is 4080. Similarly, this one is 300 multiplied by 10 is 3080. Mu c, or the core permeability, we can find from this 16 multiplied by the air permeability. So 4 pi 10 raised to the power minus 7. So this is the permeability of the core. And then area of cross section 2 multiplied by 3, as we told here, and we convert the centimeter into meter. So we multiply by 10 raised to the power minus 4. Actually it is 10 raised to the power minus 2 multiplied by 10 raised to the power minus 2. 1 for this and 1 for this. So that makes 10 raised to the power minus 4. Okay. Now to calculate the reactance, we need the dimensions. These dimensions. Now we cannot take the inner one or the outer one, so we have to take the in between middle one. So we have drawn this line to show the midpoints. And now we'll draw the equivalent circuit for this. But before that, let's see what will be the direction of this when we convert into voltage source, equivalent voltage source. Now, you know the thumb rule. You have to grab the current entering coil. So current entering, if you grab, the thumb will be up. That means phi, or the, we can say equivalent current, is going up. So phi is going up, and it will make a circle like this. And same here. Here also the phi 2 is going up and making a circle. So that means this will have a positive at the top, negative at the bottom, and this one also will have a positive at the top, negative at the bottom, because we know the current exits or comes out from the positive terminal. So let's now draw the equivalent circuit. So this is the equivalent circuit. These are the two sources we have drawn. And now this is very important that you understand how to draw the resistances or reluctances. Now for this source we will just take this portion. This portion will take to calculate the reluctance BAFE. So BAFE. And now since this is common between the two loops, so we'll treat this as separate. So this will be treated as separate. So this is the source here, and we have a reluctance BE. So this reluctance BE is here. And then whatever is remaining is the reluctance BCDE. But here we have to be careful. Now this dimension is 50 plus 1 from here and 1 from here, so it's 52. Similarly, this is 52, this is also 52, this is also 52, this dimension is also 52, and this one is 52. But this one is not 52 because we have to subtract this 0.5. So this dimension will be 51.5. So we have to keep this in mind. Anyway, so the reluctance here is RBCDE, and then we have the reluctance of the air gap, so that is RG. So this is our equivalent circuit. Once we have drawn the equivalent circuit carefully, then the problem solving will become very, very easy. So this is the circuit and the equivalent circuit. Now let's find the values of the reluctances. So first BAFE, and as we mentioned that BAFE, for BAFE we take this dimension. The formula for reluctance, I hope you recall, is the length of the core divided by mu C AC. So the length of core BAFE will take only this portion, and if you can see from the diagram, this much is 50 centimeter. Then we're taking half of 2 centimeters, so 1 here, and half of 2 centimeters, so 1 here. So it is 52 this way, 52 this way, and 52 this way. So 52 plus 52 plus 52, and we convert centimeter into meter by multiplying by 10 raised to the power minus 2, and then putting the value of mu C and AC, area of cross section, we get this answer 1.29 10 raised to the power 6. Now let's find out RBE. RBE, again, length of LBE, this arm. So you can see from here to here it is 52. So 52, the denominator remains same, and we get the answer 0.43 10 raised to the power 6. Now we go to RBCDE. So BCDE, this is also 52, this is 52, and this is 52. But in this one from CD we have to subtract 0.5, which is the air gap. So this one it will be 51.5. So 52 plus 51.5 plus 52 multiplied by 10 raised to the power minus 2. So we get an answer 1.286. And finally the air gap. Air gap length is 0.5. So we write 0.5 into 10 raised to the power minus 2. The denominator formula changes since it is air. So we will now write the permeability of the air instead of core. So it is 4 pi 10 raised to the power minus 6. And AG, the area of cross section of the air gap, is same as the area of cross section of the core. So that is 6 into 10 raised to the power minus 4. And we get answer 6.63 10 raised to the power 6. Now we need to write the loop equations, and let's consider loop 1. So this is loop 1. We start from one corner. So this is minus N1 I1. So minus N1 I1. This one multiplied by phi1 is just like treat it as a current. So I into R, or phi1 into RBFE. This is now shared by phi1 and phi2. So this will be phi1 minus phi2. So phi1 minus phi2 RB, and then this is plus sign coming first. So plus N2I2 equals 0. So this is the KBL for loop 1. And we just rearrange the phi1 terms and phi2 terms, and you take the two sources on the right hand side, plugging in the value from here. These are the values given. So 1.29 and then 0.43, 0.43, etc. So we get a equation in terms of phi1 and phi2 and a constant. So this is our equation number 1 in this case. And similarly, now we write the loop equation for 2. We start from here again. So minus N2I2 plus, now since we are in the second loop, so we'll write phi2 minus phi1 into RB. So phi2 minus phi1 into RB, and then phi2 multiplied by these two. So RBCD and RG equals 0. Here also we rearrange, plugging in the values, arranging all the phi terms and phi1 and phi2 terms. So this is our second equation. Now these were the two equations. You can solve these two to find phi1 and phi2. You can use any of the methods, substitution, elimination. I have just shown you the elimination method. So what I am doing here, I am dividing equation 2 by 0.43, so this becomes 1, and then multiplying it by 1.72, so this will become 1.72. So this is the result, this one. Similarly, this is divided by 0.43 multiplied by 1.72 will give you 33.8, and same here. So this is the result. Now we can add 1 and 3. So the first term will get cancelled. So let's see. Adding 1 and 3, we get phi 32.95 10 raised to the power 6 is equal to 13. So adding these two. And from here we calculate phi 2, which is 3.95 10 raised to the power minus 4 Weber. Now if you see the diagram, the air gap flux phi g, which is the flux across this, is same as phi 2. So phi g is equal to phi 2 is equal to 3.95 10 raised to the power minus 4. And the air gap flux density is phi g over Ag. So writing the value of phi g from here and the value of air gap, Ag is the area of cross section. So 6 into 10 raised to the power minus 4, area of cross section of the air gap. It is same as the area of cross section of the core. So the answer is 0.658 Tesla. And then the magnetic field intensity is given by Bg over mu naught. So dividing the two, we get 0.523 10 raised to the power 6 amperes turns per meter. So I hope you understand this. This is slightly lengthy, but this will give you a full understanding. Thank you.